What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Coming to you with another video. It's been a while. Had to take some time off to myself. Get my thoughts and my mind together. Get my spirits back up. First off, I want to start off by saying I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. I'm not a Buddhist. I'm just a man of God. Two of the topics I'm coming to you today with is sacrifice and forgiveness. And what I mean by sacrifice is, I think we got the misconception of what our life, some people have a misconception of what their life and what their purpose is. And I'm going to try to give it to some people and try to put it to perspective of what sacrifice and how your life has its purpose. And how that every single day that you wake up on this earth, you have a purpose. I know we've been brought up, we've been lied to, and people show us these glamorous things and we think that's success. You know, but every single day, you wake up in the morning, you are a success. You know, and sometimes we get caught up in the jewelry, the cars, the clothes, the big houses, all the money in the world. And it's a poor man out there right now. He is successful. And the reason he's successful is because God made him to be that. It's a man on drugs right now, trying to kick. He's successful because God made him to be that. You know, and we get caught up and sometimes we look down on people and wonder why. Why you like that? And we look down on them and bash them. But we don't understand that God is sacrificing those people. We don't know why they're being sacrificed, but they're being sacrificed. They're being sacrificed so somebody maybe in their family or somebody around them that they don't know won't be in that predicament. So their life is being sacrificed. You know, and the reason I speak on this because I know from experience, I've been living on this earth long enough to know that and see how God works and see how God operates. And each individual on this earth have their purpose, whatever that may be, whatever you may feel. You might be down, you might be sad, you might feel like you ain't moving, you ain't going nowhere, you've been praying to God for a long time. But hold on, you know, God got you there for a reason because he's trying to build God trying to build something up in you spiritually. You know what I mean? We can't look at the outer all the time. God is a spirit. God is not this physical, this flesh, this clay. That's not God. That's not God. God is eternal. God is spiritual. So whatever you're going through is something spiritual. God putting people in your life, putting you in certain situations to deal with your spirits, to pull certain things up out of you that you didn't even know that's in you. Some of them going to be good. Some of them going to be ugly. You're not going to like what you're going to see. But you have to be put in tough situations. You have to be brought down to your knees so that you can find out who you are as a person. Every single day you're being sacrificed. There's nothing on earth that's on earth that shouldn't be on earth. Everything on earth has to be used. If you can't use or become used, what use are you? I'm going to say it again. If you can't use or become used, what use are you? The word use, we took it and used it as a bad thing to say. And people like, man, he just using me. This person used me. All they do is use and abuse me and stuff like that. Take the word use. It's the ultimate sacrificial experience. And that's what life is. So somebody has to use so somebody can come up. And we use that term and brought up thinking that it's a bad thing. No, somebody has to be used. You go to work every day, somebody's using you. You're using your job. You're using your car. If some people smoke cigarettes. If some people smoke weed. If some people do drugs. If some people do everything. If some people who read. If some people who write. That pen has to be used or it has no purpose. That remote has to be used or the TV has no purpose. The TV has to be turned on or it has no purpose. That chair that we sit in every day, it has to be used. That car you drive every single day, it has to be used. The plates that you eat off of, they have to be used. The trees in the air, the grass has to be used. Animals eat off that. Birds have to build nests. Everything on earth that's on earth must be used. And we take it and we run with it and we use it as, man, dang, people use me. No, somebody got to be used. You have to be used. You're going to use somebody not even knowing it. At some point in time, each and every single last one of us, subconsciously or consciously, you done had to use somebody because you done all us done needed help in some kind of form or fashion. There's nobody, I don't care what you say, there's nobody on earth doing it by themselves. When you get up in the morning, you go to work, you send your class to school, you send your daughters and sons to school. You're using the school system to help you support your kids. School It's another way of form so that you can go to work and you can provide for your family so that during those wee hours during the day, you can get your job done and not have to worry about your students. It's a safe place for your kids to be. That's what school for. And in the process, your kids gonna learn. Your kids gonna get education. Your kids gonna be able to play sports. Your kids gonna earn scholarships out of that situation. So everything on earth has to be used. God has the whole world in his hands. The concrete is held up by something. Water is underneath the earth. That table is being held up by the ground. That table is being held up by wheels. Your house is being held up by the ground. It's nails and stuff inside your house that you cannot see that's holding that house together. So everything on earth has its purpose. There's nothing bad on this earth. There's bad things that you might see as bad, but everything that God created is good in God's eyes. And we have to learn that and learn that our life is just being sacrificed each and every single day. And once we come to grips in that and learn that, dang, our life is being sacrificed, you can understand. You're going through stuff right now, so somebody in your daughter ain't got to go through it. You're going through stuff right now, so your son ain't got to go through it. Your daddy or mama a drug addict, so you ain't got to be. Your mama or daddy ain't in your life, so that God can find something deep within yourself to bring out of you to make you a better parent, a better father, a better mother. So forgive our mothers and fathers. Forgive them all, even if they weren't in your life. Even if they were strung out on drugs, even if they stayed across the street from you, ain't never speak to you. The reason sometimes we get caught up and think because we have a baby with somebody that we're supposed to be with that woman or we're supposed to be with that man forever. God used that man or woman to give birth, and sometimes it's sad to say, that's it. That's it. Sometimes your dad ain't supposed to be in your life because God gonna send a stepdaddy who gonna love you unconditionally. Or sometimes your mom ain't supposed to be in your life because he got a woman that didn't birth you physically, but she gonna love you just like she did. And every single day is counted. Every person in your life is supposed to be in your life. Every encounter, every situation, every problem you go through, every person you face. When you wake up in the morning, every single day, every person that you meet that day, you're supposed to meet because it was made already. It was done. We think we creating something new. We ain't creating something new. This stuff a rerun. It's been written. We just living out our life with characters. That's all we is. So we got to find something in ourselves and dig deep and forgive those who we feel like let us down or hurt us. It's people who got parents who had both of their parents in their life and still turned out on the wrong end of the stick, so to say. Drug addict, had both of their parents. Sometimes having both of your parents in the house, God will detach you from both of your parents because he's trying to put something in you. See, if you ain't have your mama, if you ain't have your daddy, you ain't have them for a reason. And what God trying to show you is God trying to pull something out of you and show you that, guess what? You're going to go in a different path. I sacrifice your mama and daddy so that so your kids ain't got to go through what you went through. Sometimes God will remove your daddy or your mama because God don't want you to see certain things what your parents going through. So he'll separate them. Because at the end of the day, we need to learn and we need to harp on this. Our mama, our dad, they gave birth to us. They love us. So we hope. Some people feel like they don't love us. And that's okay. It's going to be all right. But we all need to know we got one Father. And that's God. Whatever you want to believe in. You can be an atheist. You can say you hate God. You ain't got to believe in God. But that's okay. God know that. You're still God's child because God created you. God formed you. That light that's in your eye is God's spirit. God is love. And sometimes love ain't always pretty. For me to love you, I have to tear you down to bring you up. I got to put you in a certain situation. You want strength. We ask for strength from God. Okay, God going to give you strength, but now I got to apply pressure. I got to put weight on the bar. Sometimes we want miracle. We want God to show us things. Okay, I'm going to show you things. I'm going to show you devastation. I'm going to show you, put you in situations where there's no way out, where you feel like there's no way out. Everybody turned their back against you. Nobody with you. You're homeless. You're poor, but at the end of the day, you made it through. That's God. That builds your faith. If everything went good, you wouldn't have faith. So I have to show you destruction. God has to show you destruction. He has to show you that house coming down. He got to make you lose your car sometimes so you can walk and not depend on nobody else, but just depend on yourself. And one thing we need to start doing is understanding. In order to love yourself is loving God. We've been doing it our whole life. And just because we've been doing it our whole life, that don't mean it was right. A lot of us always say, I put God first, then my family. But putting God first, putting yourself first, because you are God. You are God's creation. You came into this world by yourself. So putting God first is putting yourself first. And a lot of us don't do that because we feel like, oh man, I'm being selfish. No, sometimes you got to be selfish for yourself. Because at the end of the day, we're going to lose our mama. We're going to lose our daddy. We're going to lose our brothers. We're going to lose our sisters. We're going to lose our kids. People going to come and go. And at the end of the day, it's just going to be you. You are God. So put yourself first. And that's loving God. If you don't believe me, ask God.